Previously in the ride, young French amateur rider Rémi Denos has been selected to participate, I'll get it right, in the ride alongside Tour de France legend Richard Véran. He's up to face his challenge, riding the legendary Alpe d'Huez, with the last winner on this prestigious Tour de France mountaintop finish, Pierre Rolland. With a 13.8 kilometre length and an average 8.1% gradient, Alpe d'Huez is one of the most legendary mountains in the Tour de France, and it's set to be climbed twice in this year's 100th edition. It was first included in 1952 when Fausto Coppi won and claimed the yellow jersey to win the Tour that year. Joop Zoetemelk wrote the second historic page of the climb by winning the second Alpe d'Huez stage in 1976, a performance he repeated in 79 after a famous battle against Bernardino. But that iconic moment of the Tour was written in 86 when Greg LeMond and Bernardino finished together, arm in arm, at the top of the climb. Bourgeoisin at the bottom of Alpe d'Huez. Pierre Rolland, accompanied by the legend Richard Véran and our amateur Rémi, are all set to climb the Alpe d'Huez. Just a few minutes before the start, it's time for final preparations. We're in Bourgeoisin. I saw Pierre Rolland and Richard, who are both ready, very excited. And with the starting arch, it's extraordinary. I really had the feeling I was at the start of a pro race with the motorbikes and so on. It's so cool, huge sensation, and a big motivation to climb the mountain. It's strange to ride with a rider who's won 7 polka dot jerseys. Such a pleasure. And with us we've got Rémi, the challenger, who'll try to replace Sammy Sanchez during the climb.
Le challenger, donc il va essayer de faire, de remplacer Sanchez sur la dernière montée.
Okay guys, shake hands. One of the most difficult parts is actually the first few metres of this climb before the first hairpin bend. From here to what we call the Dutch curve, it's really hard. And after it's easy? Oh no, it's not easy, just a little less hard. It goes from 40% to just 8%. Oh, it's impressive here. On TV, we just can't really imagine. You're right, when you're just watching on TV, it's totally different. Oh, now I'm feeling the gradient. On the first wall of the climb, when we started, I felt good. Pierre talked a lot. He seemed to be going easy. So I must ask, why was Richard breathing so hard? I think he missed a few training sessions before the climb. To climb here with those two, though, it's awesome. I felt like I was really in a Tour de France stage with Pierre Rolland, Richard Véran. It really was a huge emotion for me.
Pierre Rolland, Richard Véran, c'était une énorme sensation.
I heard them, they talked, and me, I got lots of difficulties breathing. I said to myself, I'm crazy, what am I doing here? Can you just imagine this same place in the height of summer, 35 degrees temperature, 4 lines of excited fans on both sides of the road? Now here we enter the climb at 12 to 13 kilometres. The rhythm wasn't very high, but it's quite impossible to ride much slower. You'd fall over, it's so steep. The first bit of gradient on Alpe is incredible, almost 14% before you've even got to the first hairpin bend. It's quite hideous.
C'est quelque chose de monstrueux. Là, faut souffler.
Now you need to breathe well, try and recover. Here on the climb, I can't believe it, it's so quiet. No noise at all.
Ah bah non.
Last year, when I won a tour stage in La Toussuire, and the stage was probably much harder than here on Alpe d'Huez, but people are still talking about my Alpe d'Huez victory in 2011. I'm sure that when I stop cycling, even if I achieve other huge performances, people will still talk about my winning on Alpe d'Huez, because this mountain, it really is a mythical place. Well, I can only imagine when you're amongst the crowd for more than 30 minutes. It's amazing. Yeah, it's unbelievable when you're in front on a climb like this. You're in a sort of twilight zone. You've got pain all over, and somehow you forget the pain. So it's here? Oh, yeah. Number 16, it's here. It's my hairpin. Hey. Pierre Rolland. What about that? Okay, I'm going to do a Thomas Voeckler impersonation. Here we go. Helmet thrown back. Don't forget the tongue. And the ring as well. Don't forget that bit. Don't tell him. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. In fact, I'm quite surprised by my own level of fitness at the moment. We'll accelerate a bit on the top. Oh, not too much, please. I'm okay with this speed. Thanks very much. We started on quite a high rhythm, well, from my point of view, but I felt good, and when I saw Richard Virenque in trouble, I was even more motivated. If one day somebody had said to me, "You'll drop Richard Virenque on Alpe d'Huez," I'd have said, "You must be crazy." To be on the hairpin and see Richard behind you is an unknown and amazing feeling, I tell you. It's just like I was in a race. You forget the pain, even if perhaps just afterwards you feel it a little bit, yeah.
On se sent comme en course, quoi. Je dirais, on sent plus trop ses jambes. Après, je les ai vite ressentis quand même.
Today, my only opponent was myself. I had to fight to finish the climb, not just to attack anyone. I was alone in my poor physical condition. I tried to concentrate and climb with a slow pace, yeah. However, I still remember the speed when I was a pro cyclist in the past, a long time ago. And that's the reason why when you do cycling, you always need to have respect, because you can always ride against someone who's stronger than you. Oh, we're heading for a break, so stay with us for more of the ride in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to the second part of The Ride on Alpe d'Huez. Our three protagonists are climbing the mythical 21 hairpin mountain. Unfortunately, one of them's been dropped. The 7 times polka dot jersey in the Tour de France, who stopped racing about 8 years ago, is in trouble on the climb. He's breathing hard, thanks to the pace set by Pierre Rolland and amateur Remy. Well, I think that I'm dropping Richard Virenque. If somebody had told me that would happen, well, hard to believe. When you have kids, you can say to them, I rode Richard Virenque, I dropped him on Alpe d'Huez, and most of all, I was continuing to talk. Richard was a born competitor, so I expected something from him. I expected a big show. Now I realise that racing is behind him. His schedule doesn't let him get into too much training, and the mountain is just so cruel.
La montagne, ça pardonne pas, j'ai envie de dire.
When Pierre accelerated, I wanted so much to keep contact with him, but I was close to being sick, I can tell you. I was dying, but I knew I couldn't live with that experience, so I just refused to give up. I wanted to go to the very limit of my ability. I was really bad. For 300 or 400 meters, I just had to slow down. Perhaps the speed really was too high for me from the start. Anyway, finally, Pierre slowed down, and we then tried to stay together for as long as we could. First attack to test my opponents. We need to stay with him. He could be dangerous. Don't let him get away. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I thought it's now or never. I told myself that if I don't do it now, I never will. I tried without much hope, but hey, it's a small attack on Pierre Rolland, and it's a real pleasure. Gave me a lot of pride. He must have been surprised because he probably didn't expect me to do that, because I was blowing quite strongly earlier and I was very hot. But the fact that there are cameras, there's Pierre Rolland, Richard Virenque, it played my motivations, and I was able to push myself perhaps more than usual. I don't know why, but he wanted to attack me. He wanted to test me, but just after, he was in trouble. I think maybe he had his lunch a little bit too late, and he almost had another small disaster. I need to get a reaction now. I waited for help, but I think I need to go alone to catch him. Oh, it's hard, but it's a good kind of a plane, you know. Are you flat out or not? Well, yeah, I was at maximum at the end. I was almost sick. Okay, you've convinced me. At the beginning, it was okay. We had a chat. Then Pierre decided to accelerate. Easy for him, but not for me. But a good feeling. And Pierre didn't even take off his jacket or his leg warmers, did he? And 2 bottles and the food in the back. Oh, he's in tourist mode here. You see, here's the place where the Dutch community make it their own. 1 week before the Tour de France, they're already here. They consider they're at home here. It's very impressive, and yet it's hot and dangerous for a 500-metre section. At that hairpin, there's a very particular atmosphere. Right now, of course, it's very quiet and calm, but it's not the same atmosphere in July. In July, when the Tour comes, it's completely different. Now we can hear the birds singing, but I assure you in July you won't hear them. It's too noisy. But it's exhilarating for us. Now we approach the last part of the climb. In 2011, from hairpin number 6, the next one, it was the moment I felt the taste of victory. Very special for me. Hey Guy, the summit is here. But it's not really hard. Just 67 kilometres with a maximum grade of 8%. Oh, easy. I'm going ahead. I'm going to do some scouting just to see if there are any wild boars on the roads. Us, well, we'll need to keep a nice pace. We need to watch out for him, you know. The gap's 2 minutes. How many? 2 minutes? Suivez-moi. Follow me. Stay with us for more after the break. Welcome back. After the stop at the Dutch turn and a deserved short pause, Richard Virenque decided to take an advantage on his teammates and restarted before Remy and Pierre, shades of Sean Kelly on the Ventoux. He quickly took a big gap, around 2 minutes. Pierre and Remy needed to accelerate to try to reach him before the top. Suivez-moi, follow me. At the time, I told Remy, I'll take the pace, I'll try and bring you back to Richard. We drove, and then finally we had him in sight. We just had to stay focused on him up the road. It's always very easy to take time out on a rider in distress on a climb. When you've got the good shape, it's easy. I never rode a climb with the sprinter mentality. I just said, well, I've got to get to the top as fast as possible. And I was very much in that spirit on the day. Finally, 2K from the top, Pierre and Remy end the chase and reach Richard. And quickly after the end of the chase, Richard is dropped once more. 1K before the finish. It's all about Pierre and Remy. Pierre Rolland attacks just as he did in 2011 against Contador and Sanchez. He warned me, he told me that on hairpin number 1 he would show me how he attacked Contador and Sanchez. I could see his sudden burst of speed, it was amazing. He attacked very strongly, I just couldn't even attempt to follow him. When we were together, he was easy, and then, however, I had great difficulties following him. So you can imagine when he really attacked, I was in agony. Here he attacked, he suddenly was riding around 20, 25, 30 kilometers an hour, impossible to follow. Just to see him go far away from me. I tried to stay focused on my own ride in order to finish at the same pace I started with and tried to get to the top under 1 hour if it was humanly possible. I saw the finishing banner. I knew it was over. I was so happy because I really suffered for an hour. So I raised my arms. To finish second behind Pierre Rolland, I consider as good as a victory, and happy I was to put my hands in the air after such an extraordinary event. I'd lived a great time. I was very proud to have made this particular performance. He lacked training, Richard, due to his busy schedule, I think. I still have a lot of respect for this great champion who was 7 times the polka dot jersey winner. It's a great feeling to have actually ridden with him. Fortunately, you know, we've actually stopped 1K before the real finish in the Tour de France. Congratulations, you pushed yourself to the limit. Well done, Remy. Thank you very much. Did you see how he climbed here? Well done. Very good. With a strange style, maybe, but good, with a lot of strength. I said to Remy to change his position, but he wouldn't. And you finished so strongly. Yeah, I took pleasure at the end. It's a pain, but it's a real pleasure to suffer like that. It's an undefinable sensation. You know, a few meters before the end, you suffer, and then it's over. It's a wonderful feeling, difficult to explain. He pushed himself to his limits today, didn't he? When Pierre attacked, I came back to him and I saw he gave everything just to cross the line. He tried to get back on Pierre. Today was the race of his life. From the start to the finish, he was here to give his maximum and to climb at 100%. Well done to him. He told me that he does a lot of running and he rides with a similar style. It's a very strange, jerky and hard style. With his pedaling style, I think he couldn't climb another hill like that. I told him, change your gear, take a lower gear, try to save energy, but he didn't want to. It's just his style. And here at the top, when he finished, he was completely exhausted. No matter the speed, no matter the time, we've just got to congratulate him for making it to the top.
Ça se félicite, quoi, peu importe le temps, peu importe la vitesse, quoi.
Pierre Rolland gave me this trophy. It's a heavy one. I'm proud of it. They both dedicated it to me. It's a super gift to remember the day. I'll take it to work or maybe at home, I don't know yet. But without a doubt, it was the best sporting moment of my life.